now the #1 ranked gymnast in the country for the men's team leading up to Barcelona.
Jared has a strong ring routine here, and he opens up with a very impressive move. He's going to swing up and freeze the position in what we call a Maltese cross. Watch this. Boom, there it is. Straight arm, straight leg, press to handstand. Notice Jared fighting to keep the ring still.
Remember when we saw Scott Keswick, how still he kept the rings and the control that he showed.
There's another good look at the Maltese cross. Here comes a dismount.
Oh, again, fighting for those landings. Almost on both counts, both Kim and Jared almost came up with a stuck landing.
Well, if Jared Hanks gets a 9.65, their team will take the lead. The Zmeskal-Hanks team. Here's an interesting angle of the dismount.
Again, you can see how the gymnast will spot the floor in order to orient himself for a good landing. You can see him looking over his shoulder, finding the floor, and dropping it in.
Jared has been complaining about sore knees, and you can see he lands a little gingerly. And as you mentioned, the stuck landing is just about everything in gymnastics these days, especially at this top world-class level. Looks like Kim's a little more concerned about his score than he is. She knows she turned in her 9.95, just another day at the office for the world all-aroround champion from Houston, Texas. 9.6 is a score for Jared Hanks, so a 39.15 is their effort. So that ties them for second place with the Chinese pair. Now the competition will continue in round 2. Our leaders Shannon Miller and Scott Keswick will be up when we return. And welcome back once again to Tallahassee. The competition continues in the second round. We're moving over to the vault now, where Shannon Miller from Edmond, Oklahoma, the birthday girl, turns 15 years old today, is getting ready to perform. And you see there a 9.69 average with Shannon Miller and Scott Keswick as teammates, would edge out Zmeskal and Hanks and move Miller and Keswick into the final round. Only one American pair will go to the final round.
This is a terrific vault. Yurchenko laid out with a full twist. She came up with the landing Kim wanted.
We talked to her yesterday. She said, I really need to work more on sticking landings, and her coach, Steve Nuno, obviously pleased with that.
Shannon finished
this is a terrific ball for Shannon. Good approach, good position in the air, great landing. Not quite as high as Kim on the full twist, but she did the most important part of the vault, and that was the landing. You could see her arms were a little bit bent as she made contact with the horse, and that's why she lacked a little height in the air. Right there. Maybe the next one she can get it up a little bit higher and repeat that landing.
Well, Shannon Miller has been spending a lot of time working on vaulting, and 9.95 is her score. So as you can see, she's improved a great deal. She was a finalist at the 91 World Championships. In every event, she placed 6th in the vault. Maybe she can even do it a little better.
Oh!
Shannon Miller from the United States.
She's thinking herself. She's still got the 9.95. She was trying to make corrections in the air and drop it in and stick the landing again. Just a little short.
Okay, let's get ready to 25.
The approach was just about the same. Arms still a little bit bent on the horse, a little forward on the short end of the horse. So she didn't quite get the rotation or the height she needed.
So Shannon obviously will take the best of the 2 vaults, as they do in women's gymnastics. So the second score will not be the 9.95 that she got on the first. So that will be her effort, and Scott Keswick is now ready to go. He needs a 9.45. If he scores 9.45 or better, the Shannon Miller-Scott Keswick pair will move on to the final round and edge out Kim Zmeskal and Jared Hanks. This is a strong event for Scott. Very aggressive. I like his style because he's assertive. He really powers through the routine. A big move, front 1 3/4, and a beautiful transition. Straddle cut to an L. That's the best I've ever seen him do that.
There's a pike double back dismount coming up that he really needs to try and stick that landing. Oh, one little hop. Not bad.
Strong effort for Scott Keswick, and there's no question that he will get more than the 9.45 that he needed. So the pair of Scott Keswick and Shannon Miller will go to the finals, edging out Kim Zmeskal, the American Cup champion, and her teammate Jared Hanks, also the American Cup champion. And what a sequence this was here. Scott shows a beautiful 1 3/4 front, back upright straddle cut, and look at the body line in that L position. Very clean form. A little relief on the face of Shannon Miller. She knows that they are going to the finals. So the score for Scott Keswick is a 9.7 to go with the 9.95 of Shannon Miller, 39.425. That'll put them in first place as we go to the final round. We'll be back with more gymnastics right after this. Welcome back inside the Tallahassee Civic Center. After 2 rounds, these are our leaders. Shannon Miller, Scott Keswick over the Russian pair Kozlova and Karbanyenko, and Li Yifang and Nong Xiang of China are in 3rd place. Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson here. And Kathy, as we go into the final round, these gymnasts are on some pretty risky events.
I think it's going to be a very nerve-wracking final rotation. Li Yifang and Svetlana Kozlova have both chosen the balance beam as their final performance. And Shannon Miller had a disastrous floor exercise routine at the American Cup, but her coach feels it's time to redeem herself right now, so that's where she'll perform.
Well, she's the birthday girl. Maybe she'll get her birthday present early. It's Shannon Miller and Scott Keswick coming up in the final round when we come back here to Tallahassee in the McDonald's International Mixed Pairs.
Gentlemen, we're into our gold medal.
Back once again for the final rotation here in the McDonald's International Mixed Pairs. The final pairs are Li Yifang from China along with Nong Xiang. They will be the first to go. They're currently in 3rd place.
In 3rd position,
the Americans are in 1st and the Russians are in 2nd. Li Yifang in her first effort got a 9.9 on the bars and a 9.75 on her second rotation, the vault. And there's a lot of pressure on the balance beam now, Kathy.
And she is certainly a pleasure to watch on this event. The Chinese are typically known for their choreography on the balance beam, extreme flexibility. Nice back handspring layout step out. You can see she has slight little balance breaks. Two layout step outs. Very nicely done. Great angle to see exactly how straight she was with the balance beam, keeping her shoulders and her hips square.
No stranger to international competition. In 1990, she was 2nd all around in the Asian Games.
Oh. Very similar to that Healy spin we saw on the parallel bars.
Boy, you got to hit that just right.
Here comes her dismount. Very nice exercise so far. Round off double back. Boy, she just pulls it around. Comes up with a great landing. Very nice routine, particularly in a pressure situation.
Let's take an unusual angle to see this very difficult acrobatic pass.
You can really see how narrow that balance beam is. Two layout step outs, and as I pointed out earlier, you really have to keep your shoulders and your hips very square, very straight with the balance beam. And she does just that. Dismount is a round off double back. It's in tucked position. She doesn't have a lot of height and a lot of rotation, but she has just enough to get it around and not give any tenths of a point away on the landing.
We are now ready for our second competitor.
So as we
from China,
wait for her score on balance beam, we're going over now to the high bar for her teammate Nong Xiang. He scored a 9.75 on parallel bars, his first event, a 9.75 in pommel horse. The score on balance beam for his teammate Li Yifang was a 9.875. So the Chinese team doing very well. This is their final performance of the 6 performances that will go into their combined team score. The Chinese are always very aggressive. They go for the big moves. Here we go. Beautiful Ginger, as high as anyone in the world. Look at that, that's the, oh!
No. As we said, they were all finishing on very risky events. It's no riskier event than high bar.
The move he was going for was the Gaylord 2, invented by Mitch Gaylord, who performed it back in 1983 for the first time. It's a double back over the bar, and look, he had his left hand on, and his right hand just bounced off. This will be a great angle to see it.
He had beautiful height. He was in a little bit too close to make this regress. You can see his arms are very bent as he makes contact, and he's dropping straight down. Very hard to get your grip on the bar and hang on.
Well, luckily he's okay. He'll complete the exercise from the point where he fell off. There's the inverted giant swing. That's a requirement. And here comes the dismount.
Beautiful, laid out, full twisting double back. Had a step on the landing, and unfortunately that fall will cost him 0.5 of a point right off the top.
Well, by the nature of this format, the Chinese team right now looks to be a lock on third place of the 3 teams that are in the finals, but you never know. As you mentioned, there are a lot of risky elements in these events that we're seeing in the final round of competition here. It doesn't seem to bother Li Yifang too much that his teammate didn't quite come through. It seems like the women have just been perfect here, and the men have kind of been a little sloppy today. What do you think about
like that,
Kathy?
Bart.
Maybe you're right. Remember, her score was a 9.875. A 9.05 is the score for Nong Xiang. So their total will be a 58.075.
Finishing this evening with a 58.075.
A strong effort, but it's not going to be strong enough when you have people like this next young lady ready to go on the balance beam, Svetlana Kozlova.
The new Community of Independence Day.
And she's in a position to redeem herself as well. She had a fall from this event at the American Cup, and she knows she can do much better, and here's an opportunity to show it. Front tuck mount. Beautiful leaps, showing complete split in the air. Great amplitude. 2 layout step outs. Round off, layout step out. That's where she had the trouble at the American Cup, but not here.
It's been really exciting to see the Soviets all week long, or this Russian pair. They've been very outgoing, and it's really interesting to see that a few years back, the former Soviet team, they weren't allowed to hang around and mingle with the other athletes, and I think they're really enjoying the freedom now to be just like all the other performers here.
And we're certainly enjoying getting to know them better. Very nice performance so far, and I know she's feeling good about it. All she's got left is the dismount. It's a long pass, round off back handspring double back. Oh, I know what that move was for. She was a little close to the balance beam.
Whoa.
She didn't look worried at all. She just had that little hop, and she is happy. That feels really good.
Over with.
Yes,
Yeah.
and erase the tape in the pass. Here's the round off layout step out. As I said, she fell on this at the American Cup. And the dismount is a very nice pass. Round off back handspring. You can see she's off to the side. Whoa, the entire pass.
Good thing
That's a
she
heart
was off to
thumper.
the side, because had she been a little more in line, she would have been pretty close to the end of that beam. The score will be a 9.775.